Hey guys, in today's video, I'm gonna be talking about Julian, one of the most popular and strongest fighters in the game. In this video, I will talk about how Julian works in full details, which includes his skills, passives, builds, emblems, combos, along with some tips and guide on how to use him in a game. So let's get started with the video. Julian is a hero without an ultimate ability. Instead of an ultimate ability, his passive provides him enhanced skills and basic attack, along with many more attributes that makes him unique and strong. And since he has no ultimate ability, you can level up his third skill right from the very start of the game. Each skill also has an enhanced version that can be used after activating any two skills. In addition, he has a lot of skill combos, each with its own advantage during a team fight. But mastering him can be difficult, especially if you have never used him before. So, in order to master Julian, you must first understand how his skills and passive works, so let's start with his skills and passive. Let's start with his skills, and after we understand how his skills work, I will then talk about his passive, and after his passive, I will show you the combos you could do with him. Basically, Julian has 3 skills, and once you use any 2 skills, the third skill which you didn't use will get enhanced, and the enhanced skill usually deals more damage. Now, let's talk about his first skill. Julian hurls a flying scythe in a target direction, dealing 380 magic damage to enemies along the way, and also slowing them by 30% for 1 second. His enhanced first skill works similarly, but his enhanced first skill inflicts more damage and slow effects. To activate his enhanced first skill, you must first use his second and third skill, and after you use his second and third skill, your first skill will get enhanced and deal more damage. Remember, your first skill is your bread and butter skill, as this is your main damage source. So prioritize maxing out your first skill. Now, let's talk about his second skill. With the help of his second skill, Julian summons a flying sword, and you can dash in a target direction dealing 75 magic damage to enemies along the way. His second skill is really useful in chasing or escaping from enemies, as you could dash through walls. And his enhanced second skill works pretty much the same way, but when you use his enhanced second skill, you become invincible and untargetable during the dash. And you can also use the enhanced second skill to dodge attacks from enemies and turrets. His enhanced second skill can be a lifesaver if used in the right moments. Now, let's talk about his third skill. With the help of his third skill, Julian casts a chain at a target location, dealing 300 magic damage and also immobilizing the enemies for 1.2 seconds. The immobilization effect is really useful when doing your combo, as it prevents the enemies from moving, giving you an opportunity to finish casting your combo. And the enhanced third skill works in a similar way, but it will deal more damage and knock them airborne. Both phases of his third skill are great for initiating team fights, allowing your teammates to finish them off while they get stunned by your third skill. Now, let's talk about his passive. His passive is the reason why you're able to enhance your skills. And his basic attacks will be enhanced for 5 seconds after casting an enhanced skill, dealing 75 extra magic damage on every basic attack, and your enhanced basic attacks will also pull the enemies towards you, making it harder for the enemies to escape. Julian also gains hybrid lifesteal for 5 seconds each time he hits an enemy hero with his skills, and the hybrid lifesteal can get stacked up to 3 times. So spamming your skills in the laning phase is a must if you want to avoid teleporting to your base during the early game. Now, before we talk about his combos, here are some fun facts about Julian you probably didn't know. Julian is the current and only hero to have a level 5 ultimate skill, and he remarkably has the second highest HP in the entire game, behind Hylos, who has HP of 2909 at level 1. And Julian is also a part of the Forsaken Light members, and the members include Yin, Melissa, Xavier, and Julian himself. And when you play together with all the Forsaken Light members, your max HP, max mana, movement speed and critical damage gets increased. And despite being advertised as a hero without an ultimate, Julian's third skill still counts as an ultimate when you use it, because his third skill could activate the passive of items like Great Dragon Spear and Fleeting Time. And the name, Julian, is a masculine given name which is common around Europe and Latin America. It is based on the Roman name, Julianus, which was derived from Julius. Now, let's talk about his combos. Julian has 3 combos in total, so let's start with the first and most powerful combo. For the first combo, use your second skill to close the gap between you and the enemy, and after that, use your third skill to immobilize the enemy, followed by your enhanced first skill. This is the most powerful combo as you could instantly melt the enemies. And remember, after you use your combo, your basic attacks also get enhanced, and hitting an enemy with your enhanced basic attacks will slowly pull the enemy towards you. So always make sure to use your basic attacks after casting your combo, so that you will have higher chances of killing the enemy. Now, let me show you his second combo. For his second combo, use your second skill to close in on the enemies, followed by your first skill, and then your enhanced third skill. This combo is very useful during teamfights. If used at the right moment, you could stun an entire team during teamfights, allowing your teammates to finish off the enemies while they are stunned by your skill. Now, let's talk about his third combo. For his third combo, use your first skill, followed by your third skill, and then your enhanced second skill. This combo doesn't deal a lot of damage, but you could dodge attacks from the enemies and turrets, and this combo is also very useful when playing against enemies who have a lot of CC skills. Now, let's talk about his builds and emblems. Let's start with his builds. For Julian, this is the best build for him. You can use this build even if you're playing as the jungler or side laner. And remember, Genius Wand and Feather of Heaven are the core items for Julian. Feather of Heaven will increase the magical damage of your basic attacks, and Genius Wand will increase your damage by decreasing the damage of the enemies. And Brute Force will provide you physical defense and extra magic damage. And Holy Crystal will increase your magic power, allowing you to deal more damage. And Divine Glaive will provide you more magic penetration. Now, let's talk about his emblems and talents. For his emblem, go for the Mage emblem. It is the best emblem for Julian. And for his first talent, go for Rapture, for more magic penetration. And for his second talent, go for Festival of Blood. This will provide you with more spell vamp, allowing you to recover your HP during fights. And for his core talent, go for Lethal Ignition. This will help you burst down the enemies. Now, let's talk about how to use him in a game. In this video, I will talk about his gameplay as the side laner, but if you want me to make a guide on how to use Julian as the jungler, then make sure to let me know in the comments. During the early game, unlock your first skill and use your first skill to clear the minion waves. And unlike other heroes, Julian is pretty good during the laning phase, because most heroes need to reach level 4 to get their ultimate. But when it comes to Julian, you only need to reach level 3, and that's a huge advantage. But remember, you should not play aggressively until and unless you reach level 3, so you must keep that in mind and play safe until you reach level 3. And once you reach level 3, you can start taking 1 versus 1 fight, and if you land your combos successfully, you'll be able to win every 1 versus 1 fight without much problem. But make sure not to auto-tap your skills, especially when fighting against enemies with dash abilities, as they could easily dodge your enhanced first skill. Now, let's talk about his mid-game. During the mid-game, you should start rotating and help your teammates in teamfights. And if the enemies are squishy, try camping in a bush and wait for them to come near, so that you will be able to catch them off guard and secure a kill. But if the enemies are mostly tanky heroes, then it's better if you just stick with your teammates. And make sure to help out your jungler secure the turtle if it spawns near your lane. And remember, your main priority should be killing their mage and marksman, as they are the main damage dealers of the enemies. plus they are also the easiest to kill. But remember, Julian is weak against heroes like Paquito, Yu Zhang, Benedetta and Cho, so make sure to play carefully when playing against these heroes, as they could easily dodge your skills with their dash abilities. Now, let's talk about his late game. During the late game, you must know how to use different kinds of combos in different situations. Because if you only know how to use one combo, then you will have some difficulty during the late game. And remember, even though you can deal a lot of damage, you are still squishy and the enemies could still kill you easily. So make sure not to roam around the map without your teammates, because you never know if the enemies are camping in the bush waiting for you. And you should also have a good map sense during the late game, and you must know when and where to attack during a team fight, because if you mess up your combo, the enemies will easily be able to kill you without much problem, so you must wait for the perfect opportunity to strike. And remember, timing and positioning is the key to winning every team fight during the late game. So, what do you think about Julian? Make sure to let me know your thoughts in the comments, and leave a like on the video, and consider subscribing to my channel for more videos like this. Thank you for watching.